Well, I forgot to record any of the stream tonight, which was a real bummer. But I'll give you the quick version of what I did. So, set up a couple of key lights and adjusted their position. And made the fill light bigger, added a custom color rather than using a black body so that we could get maybe a little bit a deeper blue. Not super deep. I found that super deep didn't look great. Also, I found that, let me make sure, yeah, okay, so this actually is streaming this time, and that makes me happy. My goal is to do these, I started at 8 o'clock. But yes, so things that I did, yeah, I increased the power for the key light. Like I said, okay, so just going through all this, added a second backlight and adjusted it. It made the key light bigger, made it stronger, increased, well, of course, increasing the size made it bigger. Had to experiment with that. Bigger makes the shadow softer. Adjusted the position, so I moved it a little bit more to the right of the character and aimed it accordingly. So we're about like right there with that. And what else? Color grade. I actually increased the glare a little bit. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Decreased the glare. I increased the threshold, which decreases the glare. I turned off the color balance because I was just finding it's too early for something like this to start doing any color grading, because you just change the lighting and then everything needs to be reset. Everything is a little bit purplish, at least on my monitor, but I can deal with that, I think, simply because my monitor is not super great for color grading, so, you know, it may actually look good on other monitors, it may look worse, but I can't necessarily tell from here. Adjusted the character's pose a little bit, so his arms outstretched, and that makes things look a little bit better. It looks more natural, especially in frame. His fingers are not super natural, but actually they're okay. Not super great, but since that's not in the frame. And I had a couple flags. I think I had a flag last time, so basically it's just blocking the key light that's falling in the sink, but then allowing key light on the character, especially the face. So so there's you can see a flag right there, and I also added a flag in the background for this this light here, and that allows us to get really good lighting on the character, because I think the key, so there were too many highlights. If in fact, let me see if I can say, grab this guy, and well, if I just delete it temporarily, the sink is way too bright. But what I did is I adjusted it down so I'm not blocking all of the highlights, because I kind of like them. It gives the sink a metallic look, but made it such that it didn't. It's not as distracting now. Honestly, I probably should block all of them, because this sink area is really not the focus of the scene. Character is, but that worked well. So I think I included everything. Lots more to do on the character itself. So eyebrows, he needs eyebrows, maybe eyelashes. Still haven't decided whether I want to take more of the cartoon route for the guys. Really liking the jacket highlights for the backlights. Backlights, of course, kind of look like they're coming from these lights in the kitchen, so that works really well. And then the face lighting kind of matches more of what's going over here, and the window or the door. Actually, I think that's a window. And yeah, so lots of things I've got to fix on the character. I've got to fix some clipping in the belt and things like the fingers, and on the face there's some adjustments that I need to decide. I did figure out how to do shape keys in a library override, so that's going to make life lots easier, but I haven't decided. There's for this character creator setup, there's two options for the rig. You can either do shape keys and the facial rig, or just the shape keys, and I haven't decided which ones will work best. And I've also got, if I'm closing the eyes with the shape keys, then I get clipping of the eye through the eyelid, which is not good, so I'm gonna have to address that. But I think that's it. And we are streaming. Yeah, I mentioned earlier, in case you're just hopping in now, yeah, this is, I recorded this for about an hour, and then realized I wasn't streaming. I was sending the data to YouTube, but I hadn't turned the YouTube on to receive this. So, but that will keep this video short, which will be nice. Okay, so yeah, I had to make lots of adjustments. But overall, I think the lighting is really good. Oh, also something that I turned off. I had a sky set up that uses a volumetric pattern, volumetric stuff, and volumetrics are really slow. So I turned that off. And not only did that help give more contrast, that also sped this. I mean, this rendered in 2 minutes, and this is 1080p, so we've kind of fixed our optimization problem for now. There's maybe other things we could do to speed this up, but that's looking pretty good. Also, the background is darker, and the reason for that is not because it's actually darker, but I decreased the, where is it? Decreased the exposure, and I increased the brightness for the lights, so that gives us a darker background, and yet our character still stands out because we have this backlight here. I keep wanting to call it key light, but it's not. Key light is the main light, and we have our backlights. So our backlights, they really pretty good because they separate this side. It could be a little bit better, but especially this side, it just gives it just that edge that stands out so much better. And it's really subtle. You can see it more in the hair, but it's definitely there and definitely helps. You can see it on the shoulder, especially right here, in the highlights. So yeah, everything's really separated and distinct. It probably could be better, but I'm really happy with this, especially because time's down to 2 minutes, and I wouldn't mind. Of course, we haven't introduced motion blur yet, but I wouldn't mind a 2-minute render necessarily for like an animation. Of course, I want to start with a comic book style and hopefully move to an animation. But especially for a comic book, 2 minutes, it's like, whatever. Almost. It could be better, but I'm pretty happy with that. So our flags are working well, and everything's a little bit better. And I think I mentioned the compositing that. Yeah, I try to decide about the saturation because I'm using, it's just a little bit different than just the raw image, but I think I like that, especially since I think, so my monitor is older, and having a desaturated, or slightly, it's subtle, but an image that's not quite as saturated does give it just a little bit more of a subtle feel. It's not just throwing all kinds of colors at you. Honestly, even for a movie grade, this would probably be sort of crunched a little bit more just to make things a little bit more, not monotone, because really I think tritone is what you typically go for in a lot of movies. Not that this has to be that, but maybe just ever leaning that way a little bit more. And yeah, I decreased the glare, turned off the color balance, and yeah, that's what we have so far. So this looks on my monitor a little bit purpley, but that I'm gonna be okay with that for tonight. Overall, I'm like super stoked with this image because this looks like it could just about be something from a I won't say major studio, but more major than. One person, and I'm grateful. I thank God that I was able to make it this far, because this has taken a long time to get to this point. But anyway, I think that's it. I think think I recapped everything that I worked on tonight. Super excited, guys. And yeah, so still trying to do Tuesdays and Thursdays around 8 o'clock. That's going to vary from time to time, like tonight when I realized I wasn't streaming. But hopefully it will be a little bit better in the future, and or at least if that needs to change, hopefully I can announce that ahead of time when I'm going to be doing these streams. All right, well, the attempt number 2 looks like it's a success. I'm actually streaming this time, so I'm really glad. And yeah, so I will see you guys next time. And please, again, for the sake of the YouTube algorithm, or at least so I'm told, please subscribe, hit the like button and the bell and all the buttons. Yeah, push buttons. Push, yeah. Anyway, so with that, I think that's it. And take care. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I will see you in a future video, hopefully. Take care, guys.